Today we are going to be tasting the Shiraz Prohibition Gin. Hi, I'm Jo and this is Maximo, and we are Tipples and Treats. Today we are looking at gin. Now, I'm a recent gin convert. But I have not tried this gin before, so I am keen to know what it's like. It was not that cheap. It was a surprise purchase by Maximo, mainly for me. I'm more of the gin drinker, that's for sure. So tell us a bit about it.
Thanks, Jo. Well, Prohibition Gin was inspired by the Prohibition period in the 20s with all the wastage and blood and crime associated with illicit production of alcohol. Mm-hmm. This particular example in front of us is a small batch Shiraz barrel gin. Mm-hmm. It is a 500ml bottle, which is smaller than I usually get.
Small but pretty.
But it's quite expensive, so it was 104 Australian dollars for a 500ml bottle. So that's...
I don't normally pay that much for gin. You can get some really good gins for a lot cheaper than that. So
you can.
Let's hope
but
it's good.
But it was Father's Day recently, so I thought
it's special.
I treated myself, and how can I not treat Jo? Mm-hmm. So $104 is approximately $78 US. Mm-hmm. It is around 63 euros or 56 British pounds. Mm-hmm. This particular gin is 60% alcohol, so that is quite a high alcohol content.
Yep.
Content.
It is.
I expect it to be quite powerful and spicy.
Yep.
The gin was stored in casks that were originally had American bourbon. Yep. And then repurposed for Barossa Valley, South Australia.
Yes.
Shiraz.
Yes. So this is an Australian gin.
From South Australia.
South Australia.
And coincidentally, this particular distillery does have a bar in the Adelaide CBD. So if you're ever in Adelaide, you can visit their bar, assuming they're not locked down, and have a tipple of their many gins.
We should add that to our to-do list.
We'll have to.
I believe lots of the gin distilleries in Australia have their own bars.
They do.
So we could do a grand tour one day.
Indeed, the grand tour. This particular distillery was only established in 2015, so a lot of the Australian gins don't have a very rich history. It's all quite recent.
Yes, like gin, I don't know about in the rest of the world, but in Australia gin has really taken off in recent years. Lots of people are setting up boutique distilleries and creating some amazing, and I think award-winning gins.
Indeed, and I think this has won a couple of awards.
Has it?
It has.
Great.
Shall we?
I'll do the honours.
You'll open it?
Yes.
I have trouble opening bottles.
So it's a really nice bottle. It's square, well, rectangular, I guess. Prohibition Gin on the front, embossed in metallic red with some vines also. So this is the Shiraz barrel by Prohibition Gin.
It's sort of got a 3D effect with the image on the inside, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the label on the back has an image on the inside, so when you look through it, you can see a picture of what I would say is 1920s men rolling barrels. So, keeping in with the theme.
So we do have some tasting notes from the distillery. So what the tasting notes tell us, that the colour is it's a pale sort of pale colour. I'd say it was almost a whiskey sort of colour.
It does look very much like whiskey, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, I don't want to spill this. not what you'd expect a gin to look like at all.
No, it's really
But these days,
a pale sort of rosé, sort of almost an almanac whiskey sort of colour.
This is more whiskey-ish in look, isn't it?
Mm.
But gin these days comes in many colours with many flavours.
The nose on this. The nose is a floral nose from the tasting notes. That's peppery, spicy, florally.
Now, I will just say that we are trying all of our tipples neat to start with. And then we may add ice, tonic, but we feel to do them justice, we need to try them neat.
This is intriguing.
Wow, that's like a flavour explosion in your mouth. Strong.
Goodness.
Punchy. For sure.
Certainly tastes the alcohol.
Oh yeah.
It
tastes as strong as that whiskey, doesn't it?
It does, stronger. It's still burning the
tingling.
Indeed, the front of my tongue. Yeah.
You can feel.
But that was an intense sort of florally taste that sort of continued on the way down. This isn't either the nose or the taste of a traditional Australian Shiraz gin that we've been used to.
No. Some of the other Shiraz gins, which are pretty good, I'll have to say, are quite a bit sweeter than this. I wouldn't call this sweet.
Ooh.
At all.
No, this is quite dry, I think. There's certainly florally, but peppery and spicy and quite punchy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, really interesting.
It's sort of apricots and vanilla. It's almost too nice to put tonic in it, isn't it?
But we'll have to. I'm going to put a little bit of ice in, then try it, and then I want to put the tonic in. How about you?
That sounds like a plan.
Let's go for it. So we're just going to put a little bit of ice in because, whoops, I knew I was going to do that.
And we're using Fever Tree Mediterranean tonic water.
I have not tried that one yet.
Made with natural flavours.
I'm going to try it without the tonic first.
Indeed.
Let's try it without the tonic.
Indeed. Just a bit of ice.
Yeah. Look, we're only having small bits here. We don't want to,
It's certainly cut down the nose a bit, hasn't it? It's sort of closed it down.
It takes a bit of a heat out.
It does.
Yeah.
It's still very nice.
I guess it's the ice is melting fairly quickly. We're only putting a little cube in here, so it is like diluting it a little bit. I would say it tastes less florally, slightly more peppery now.
Yeah, certainly less of the both the aromas and the florals being cut down. It's sort of closed those off a bit. It's certainly a strong drink, 60% alcohol.
It is strong. It is strong. Yeah.
Shall we try?
Yes. Now, before you do the honours, how much do you think is optimal ratio?
Well, I think the optimal ratio that's quite strong is around 1 part gin to 9 parts tonic. But But
no. I've seen it as like 3/4.
1 to 3.
That would be one. Well, yeah, if you look at it that way, 3/4 tonic to 1 to gin.
Yeah,
Even I think that's too much.
Yeah, I like to taste my gin.
I do. I don't like it drowned in tonic.
No. Well, you better do the tonic honours then, Jo.
I'm going to pour my own tonic.
Yes.
And I'll let you do yours.
Okay.
I think you've drunk most of yours already.
There's a little bit in the bottom. It's still, it's warming.
I think that is maybe 50-50, if not a little bit less.
It's probably about 50-50 for me too. Yeah, it's still smell the, smell not as much.
Yeah. I mean, the more you dilute it, the more drinkable it becomes. For me, when it's strong, I'm only sipping it. But when you dilute it, it certainly means, for me, I tend to knock it back a bit faster, which is not always good.
You know, this is one of the rare times that I think that this gin should be drunk with a cube or two of ice.
It's more like a whiskey.
It is. It's more whiskey-like than gin-like, isn't it? Adding tonic hasn't improved it. It hasn't done anything to make it more enjoyable or more drinkable.
Yeah.
I think it's somehow detracted.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, if I was to add like more tonic than that, it wouldn't be worth it to me.
No, it's.
I like to taste it. Yeah.
I think that's a superb gin.
I think a dash of tonic.
Just a dash.
A dash, literally a dash. I think that's too much tonic.
I think you might be right.
To really appreciate the taste.
I mean, you can still see that there's
You can.
the colour.
Yes, and mine is probably even a bit darker than yours. Mine's maybe a bit stronger.
Well, this has been a revelation, Jo.
It has. Very interesting choice, Maximo.
It's my pleasure.
So, have you tried a gin, an unusual gin? Have you tried an Australian gin? Tell us about it. Have you tried a Shiraz gin? There's many on the market, which we may review another time. Let us know in the comments below.
And I believe, Jo, if you really like to try this gin, there is the option of going to their website of Prohibition Liquor Co. And buying online. I believe that they might even deliver it internationally.
Well, that would be a bonus. But if you're in Adelaide, even better. Just stop by and get some. But this is available, you know, in all regular liquor stores.
And on that note, thanks for viewing our tasting of the Prohibition Gin small batch premium Shiraz gin.
Yes.
If you've liked this, please hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll endeavour to do another tipple tasting
Soon.
very soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.